right, Jordan is from guess where?
Jersey.
Asheville.
Asheville, no way.
So that'll be fun. The river in Asheville, North Carolina.
Hey, Jordan.
There.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi,
How are
can you
you?
hear me? Oh, video. There we go. Nope. Hi. Can you
How
hear
are you?
me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing? Good. Hey, thanks for doing this.
Asheville is my second home.
I know. All right. So, first question, when are you coming back? Because we've got a new outdoor venue since you've been here.
Well, I
It's
gotta
called,
come back. Like, I'm coming back. I'm there for Christmas because my wife is from Asheville, so I spend a lot of time in Asheville. But now I got to come back and with the band. But Asheville's like a real. Yeah, my father-in-law lives there.
no way. Oh,
Yeah,
all of that. I had no clue. That's amazing. So, you've
yeah, I
heard of
love it.
Rabbit Rabbit then?
Yeah, for sure. I've heard of yeah, it's I Asheville gets talked about every day in my house.
Awesome. Oh man. Well, I was just at like the Biltmore on Sunday going through all the Christmas trees and
Really?
the magic of Biltmore and all that. But yeah, so I know you play the orange peel, so we got to get you up to Rabbit Rabbit,
Yeah,
4,400
I played
people.
Arsenal,
Let's sell it
then
out.
Thomas Wolfe once.
Yeah.
Um, but Rabbit's the new spot.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Because I think all those saxophones are going to sound really good on the streets of Asheville. So,
Yeah, saxophone is it's a very outdoor instrument.
uh-huh.
They can really
So
carry.
I was part of Bleachers history the other weekend because I was at that Riptide Music Festival.
Oh, cool.
So I saw that was the
First
debut
time.
of Modern Girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
It's also
awesome.
crazy because you can write a song and record a song and be like, oh, this is gonna just like kill live. And it might not. Like you just can't know. You obviously you have this feeling about something, and that one was just like it's just like on fire live. I love playing it. And it
Yeah.
was so nice at that show to be like, oh yeah, this song is it.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic live. And then my personal favorite is How Dare You Want More. So here in the back to back with that, I was just like going nuts.
Oh,
That
that's
was
awesome. Yeah, that was really
yeah.
fun. It's fun to play on the beach, and like I said, like the band, there's something about being outside that you want to play like more rude and more loud and just make a bigger mess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it sounded great. So at the end of both of those songs, there's the hush,
Yeah.
right? So what
That's
is
our
that?
drummer.
Okay.
The drummer's name is Sach, and I just like thought it was really funny when we did it on Head Area You Want More. And then we did that tag so many times on tour that when I was recording Modern Girl, I was just like, oh screw it, put it at the end of this too. Like it just seemed like a funny call out to the fans.
Okay, so it's just gonna be on those two songs because I was like, oh, is this
At the
gonna be
moment, there's nothing
uh-huh.
else on the album where I've put it, but I don't know if I'm ready to do it twice on an album. I don't, but maybe it happens once on every album. So next album,
Okay.
we'll see if the spirit still moves us.
Uh-huh. Well, it's fun. It's definitely fun and a nice like mic drop moment to do
Yeah,
that.
I just like to
So
like
uh
the end to a song like that.
seeing you live is really an experience because I mean, you're a band leader to like two bands basically with like two saxophone players who then jumped on the keyboards and then like two drummers.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot happening.
do you feel like it's double the work almost because you're also like commanding the crowd too. So there's a lot
Well,
going on.
it's all kind of moving together. I feel like it's like it's a little bit like juggling when you get in a rhythm, like when you hit that moment where it's sort of like you can't drop the balls because you're just sort of so locked in. Like that's what playing live feels like to me. It's like you get up there and you're feeling out where the band's out at and where the crowd's at, and then you're putting all the pieces together and just building and building and building and essentially building something that's bigger than the sum of its parts. So I don't know. I get very like I get in sort of like a trance when I'm up there, and I just uh go into some other part of my brain and just think like nothing else matters.
Yeah. And so I heard you take off your glasses for that kind of reason too, maybe because you are trying to not see
Well,
faces and just be in your own moment.
the biggest reason is that they'd fly off my head, but I do enjoy, like, I do enjoy, there's something about seeing things a little bit blurry that makes me more connected to the feeling of things.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not I'm seeing things from a broader point of view.
Right. Cool. I like that. I would fall over because I get dizzy if I take my glasses off, have to put contacts in or something. So while you were on the Riptide stage, you were doing the low. I forgot what chord it was. Um,
It was a synth called Juno 6.
okay,
And
is that like the alpha waves? Like, does that because you were like,
that,
you don't hear anxiety or it reduces anxiety. You
it
know.
does for me, and I
Yeah.
think it does for our audience. I mean, the reason why I call it out at the shows is because that sound is it's kind of the like bedrock of a lot of our songs. It's like a very specific kind of low end. And if it stirs something up in you, then you're kind of my people. And if
Uh-huh.
it doesn't, you might not be, but it's just I like to kind of live on stage just like pull out little bits and um just show people a little bit of what some of these building blocks are.
Okay, gotcha. And it really, I mean, it does do a lot because yes, it was calming, but that's almost like when you're watching scary movies, if you take the music away, it's not so scary. But
Yeah,
you
no, it's
bring it
really,
back.
it creates this funny vibe where it's like I to me that sound is really dark and really hopeful, which I think is essentially what the band is. Um, and so I just like all the stuff that we've created live, the whole band playing all the songs, everything. If I could pull it all the way back to one of the songs, one of the sounds that made me have the initial feelings to start the band, it's just a really cool thing to share.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was a fantastic show. Really excited for the new album, Bleachers, out March 8th. So, what are you most excited about with the new album? A certain song or the new label?
All of it, the whole thing feels like just a brand new time period and a turning over of a big page. It just feels I just feel it. There's something going on. You don't always feel it like that.
Hmm.
There's just a spark there.
And with the two new singles right now, I mean, a pretty big difference between Modern Girl, that's like dance, dance, let's go, and then Alma Mater is like puts you in a trance. It's
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, I always want to express, it's so challenging when, an album is a statement as a whole. So when you're slowly introducing people to it, it's such a odd experience to pull what you want them to hear first, because there's so many ways you can introduce someone to an album. So I just like to express real opposite ends of it to let everyone who's anticipating it just run wild wondering what is in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. So how was the filming for that? Because you did that like overnights, right? Was that
Oh god, that was,
exhausting?
extremely exhausting. I find making music videos so hard because everything's so slow,
Mm,
and it's sort of the opposite of the studio, where you're
right.
having these ideas and you're just going and you're trying things, and music videos, everything's just moving so slow that
Because you have
it
to do everything like a million times over, right?
the setup takes so long, you do things over
Right.
and over. It's just the opposite of the studio, so it's not ideal for someone like me who likes to move very fast through things.
Right. Right. Well, it's a beautiful video.
Oh, I'm happy. I love the video. It's
Yeah.
not like
It's just the process, right?
when I watch videos, I'm like, oh god, that was such a crazy night. When I listen to records, I'm like, I love being in the studio. It's just a different, like, I couldn't be an actor.
Was Modern Girl like a one take music video?
No, we
Like,
shot a bunch of takes. I mean, we did it pretty quickly because the idea was just like bottling up that like insane kinetic live energy into a video. So we were in like a church basement somewhere in Brooklyn. It was so hot, and we were just kind of like go, and we in both those videos we shot on film, which does give a little bit more of a just sort of do it, like, where you don't have endless takes.
Right.
For that, on one hand, kind of funny because it kind of slows it down, but also makes everything more precious all at once. But I like shooting on film because when the camera's on, you have to do the thing.
Right. Have you ever recorded any music here in Asheville at any of the studios?
At my I mean, I record whenever I'm passing through places. I am always doing stuff in my hotel rooms. So I definitely did some editing in Asheville, but I was never in a proper studio, like recording.
Okay.
But I do
Yeah,
feel like Asheville is like a character on the album, just based on, you know, it being, where my wife is from and just a place I go a lot now.
yeah. So is she a native? Or I mean,
Moved there when she was 5.
oh wow. Oh
So
yeah,
she,
so pretty much, yeah.
yeah, raised there.
Cool. Awesome. I did not know that. Well, that means you definitely got to get back
Yeah.
here. Awesome. Well, you're nominated for 6 Grammys too for next year, aren't you?
Not bad.
Not too bad. Just
Yeah,
add
not
it
too
to
bad.
add it to the list. That's awesome. Well, really excited for the new album. Is
Yeah,
March 8th like signify anything, that date in particular?
no, just
No.
the right date for when we finished it and when we wanted to get it out. Like you want, as soon as you finish an album, you just go very intensely into this place of when do people hear it, because you want that space in between to be as concise as possible. But obviously, there's like realities, printing vinyl, all this stuff. And so March 8th was just, we were looking at the calendar, we're like, okay, that makes sense. And sometimes you just
Oh
get
yeah.
a feeling on a date. Like I remember when I saw March 8th, I was like, I like that. That feels good.
Do you prefer listening to vinyl more so than any other form of music because you get like a clear
I like it all. I mean, they serve
version?
different purposes. Like I like being home and listening to vinyl because that's a very like in your own space experience. And then I love so much being in cars or running around with my headphones in, streaming music. They're all kind of,
True.
they all have their places, which I think is nice, that I feel like after years of claiming this or that was dead, I think that we're just kind of maybe resigned to the idea that lots of people like lots of different things.
True. True, because everyone's different.
Yeah,
So,
it's my hope.
right. Well, exciting new bonus features and tracks on the vinyl. So that's
Yeah, the
great
vinyl is
way to
really
get
cool. I
it.
mean, I love
Yeah.
vinyl. I've collected vinyl my whole life. So every time I make an album, I always want to, mess with as many variants and bonus tracks and Japanese exclusives and indie exclusives, and you go
Yeah.
down the rabbit hole of all the classic things you can do with vinyl.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, I don't want to go over my time.
Well,
I'm
it's so nice to
watching the
talk to you.
clock,
I
guys.
promise you,
Yeah.
I'll get to Asheville for an
Yeah.
Asheville show
And I
ASAP.
really also love your shoulder shakes when you do it.
Bringing it to
That's the way
Asheville.
to go. Bring it.
Bringing it to Asheville.
Great talking to you.